Hey, and welcome to my shop. My name's Matt. I'm a trainer with Sound Off Signal, and today I want to talk to you about mounting one of these awesome guys, an mpower quick mount fascia light, to the mirror of an automobile. Today we're working on the mirror from a 2020 Ford F150 police responder. This is the driver's side mirror. I've already removed it from the vehicle, and I did mark and drill the hole for the wire in consultation with the customer so that we could get exactly where they wanted. Otherwise, if you were taking the mirror off and starting this installation from scratch, you would have to measure and compare it to the other mirror and make sure everything is level and exactly where you want it. After we've done that, the next thing we have to do is disassemble the light. In particular, we need to gain access to either the mirror cap backside or preferably the entire backside of the front face of the mirror to ensure proper wire routing and to make sure we get everything mounted just exactly how we want. Now, you're going to be tempted to just pry the mirror cap off and bust it out towards you, but when you do that, you're going to cause damage to the mirror cap, in particular retention tabs and slots, and that will make it difficult, if not impossible, to set the mirror back on and have it secure for the 5 to 8 year duration that vehicle is going to be in service. So it's better to do it the right way and not be rushed and not try and just get the job done. And believe it or not, the right way is actually easier and faster. So flip the mirror over. You're going to get the mirror glass, just get it out of the way. You want to take a flashlight, okay? And you can't really see it on the video, but if you Google it or YouTube it, you'll see there are some tabs in here, and I'm doing my best to let you see it, but it's hard to know that you'll be able to. There's 2 tabs at the bottom, and really you just need a big long screwdriver. You're going to get those tabs, and you're going to pry the mirror glass away. And I promise you, it's going to come right off. No damage. Don't listen to the YouTubers who tell you that you're going to break your stuff. That's all it takes. The tabs sit here and here. It's this part and this part of the mirror, and all I did is take the screwdriver and pried away the glass evenly, light pressure, don't get crazy. Now, if this mirror assembly had a defrostable or a heated mirror, excuse me, then there would be some wires and some push tabs that you'd have to disconnect and everything else and keep track of. But that's not the case with this this vehicle that was ordered with the basic mirror option. Once that's off, we need a handy dandy electric screw gun and a T10 Torx bit. All right, with our bit and our screw gun, we're going to hit these 4 screws, all right, and take them out. Not much to it. Don't lose them. They're little. Set our 4 screws aside. Get that little stray one out. All right. Now, once you've done that, I find it's easiest to fold the mirror. And now we're going to separate the front and rear housing. There's not much to it. There's a push tab under here that you want to take care of. But that's it, guys. It is not that difficult. Now you have full access to the back of the mirror. You have easy wire routing, and you're not going to damage anything or tear anything up. Set that aside, and let's look at our mirror cap. These are those retention tabs I was speaking of that are almost sure to break, because once they slide in, they lock over a tab and they don't have a lot of room to give for you to pull them out. So if you force it out, you're going to crack these things and possibly detach them from the mirror cap. And again, it'll be very difficult to put it back together. If you have done that, if you didn't heed the advice and you are in a position where some of this stuff is tore up, what you can do is use some 3M, really good 3M VHB tape. You see there's enough gap here that you would be able to put some 3M tape here and adhere it, and you'll probably be okay. So we've got that apart. Let's open our light. It's fresh. It's sealed in the bag. It has a born on date. Where is the born on date? This sucker is new. Julian date is 2135. That means it's the 135th day of 2020 that this light was built, and that's just about a week and a half ago. Open the bag, take the light out, remove the alcohol wipe that is provided in the bag, and the first thing I do is just hit the mirror, clean it really good. You're trying to get off any wax, any oil, any mold release that might still be on here, bug guts, dirt, dust, etc. Wipe it clean. We got quite a bit of gunk off of there, and you're good. The next thing I like to do is prep the mpower Fascia quick mount light. This is a tricolor light. It is blue, amber, and white, meaning color 1 is blue, color 2 is amber, and the third color is white. Okay, you see it uses 3M VHB tape to adhere. There's no screws, no bezels, nothing complicated about it. And then you have the wire harness. This is a ribbon cable, okay, and if you need to extend it, you just peel and pull back each of the wires individually, and you can gain a working length of wire there. I like to have about 2, maybe 3 inches of wire exposed, but I prefer to leave the remainder of the cable intact. The next thing I like to do is protect the cable. Tessa tape is my preferred choice. This is the fabric Tessa tape that's called harness tape, and it is a high heat, highly abrasion resistant tape, and it's excellent for this purpose. So I measure out about 1 foot of the tape, and watch this little trick. You have to cut this stuff, you can't tear it. It's very, very ruggedized tape. And then I'm going to lay it out on the table. Try and get you in the view here. Lay it out on the table, and I like to take my cable, straighten it out, lay it on the tape with a slightly bit more to one side than the other, right? Now I'm going to just fold it over, the short end first, just run your thumb along, get it folded over the wire. I'm fumbling with this a lot more than normal as a result of the video camera, because this really isn't that hard. Then I fold the other side over. And then instead of wrapping the tape around it in a spiral pattern, I've really just folded it over to protect the light. And that really is not only going to help protect it from abrasion, and vibration over time and everything else, it also cleans it up a little bit. If anyone were to see the wires, they'd actually just see this black piece. Now, cut an additional couple lengths of the tape and wrap it around the top. This closes that up so it won't come loose. It also acts as a tear barrier from, should you accidentally pull the wire further back, you won't continue to separate it. Same thing down here, just a little bit more tape around the wire where it exits the light. Again, here's where you want to wrap it around spiral just to make sure everything else is good to go. And there you go. The light is now prepared to install. Now, the VHB tape that is on these lights is extremely well suited to the application that is provided for, which is to adhere this light to most surfaces on an automobile. It's going to stick really well to paint. It's going to stick really well to any smooth plastic, that type of thing. And you don't really have to do anything more than prep it with the alcohol wipe. However, what I like to do as an extra step on textured rough plastic like this is use a product, the 3M Adhesion Promoter, part number 111. This is available pretty inexpensively, and a bottle of it's going to last you a real long time. All right. With that bottle, you can take that alcohol wipe that you used, dab it a little bit in there, just get a little bit of this fluid on there, and use that to prep this plastic. Now, let me caution you that you only want to prep where this light's going to actually be mounted and what's going to be hidden from view, because this will discolor the plastic. So where I'm most concerned about is the hole This is an approximate 1/2 inch hole that I drilled, and I want to seal around the hole really well because that is going to prevent moisture and gunk from getting in there. Now, this isn't critical on a mirror cap because the whole thing is going to have a lot of moisture and gunk get in there. But if this was on a painted surface or anything else, I especially want to seal it up. Now, just let that dry. And that is just simply an adhesion promoter that's going to help ensure the best possible bond with the VHB, although I'm pretty confident that you wouldn't have any issues if you omitted this step. While that's drying, let's talk about the wire routing that we're going to want to use to get inside the mirror. This particular mirror, and most mirrors really, have this kind of foam gasket. Be careful and pull this off. You don't want to tear it or otherwise misshape it and damage it. Set it out of the way. Once you've done that, you're going to have pretty good access to the inside of the mirror. You're going to need a wire snake. I particularly like using this old zip tie. I think I've had this thing going on 10 years. It's flexible. It's just big enough to get through most spaces, and it's firm enough to be able to push and work through. Next, you're going to need a little pry tool. You can use a pick or some sort of non-marring pry tool. And you want to pop the mirror cap off. That's all there is to it. Doesn't take a lot. Little access cap. There's where the wire is going to route. Remember, it's always a best practice to follow the original vehicle wiring paths because you know that that has been engineered for that purpose. We're going to get our zip tie through, and look at that. Look how easy that was. In fact, we probably don't even need the zip tie in this particular vehicle, on this particular mirror, but you will find that you will need something like that most of the time. Set that back aside because now it's time to stick the light. You see that that adhesion promoter has done its trick. You'll see a slight bit of dulling here, and what that has done is prep that surface so that it is going to bond with the VHB tape. So we're ready to stick the light. If you've never used one of the mpower lights, you're in for a surprise. Not only is the light really cool, squishy, flexible, pretty rugged, and intensely bright, if you use the quick mount variety, it's extremely easy to mount. No screws, no extra holes to drill, etc. You need about a 1/2 inch hole for your wire routing, but that's it. Now, here's a little trick I have learned over the years. I'll take a sharp X-Acto knife or pick and start the tape from the center. Excuse me, remove the backer from the tape, starting in the center. And then, here's the tip. Don't take it off. Fold it, take it about a little more than halfway, and fold it over and make a couple flags. Now, what you've done is created pull tabs, just like for those command strips, like you hang on the wall where you can pull it and get the thing to release. It's the same kind of principle here. All right, you're going to run the wire harness through. Make sure everything's about where you want it. Get a basic fit of how that light's going to go on. Make sure it's going to go where you want it to, right? Eyeball it. Here's another tip. Don't worry too much about measuring. Trust your eye. If it looks level to you, it is going to look level to most people. There's no need to get really crazy and get out the micrometer and the little stick, the little measuring tape or the ruler when your eye's going to do you justice in something like this. It's difficult because you've got shadows, you've got curved plastic and everything else, so just trust your eye. So let's do that. Let's get ready. We know we want it to be pretty well centered as far as the wire goes in the hole, push down as far as the light will go as the wire access hole will allow it, and level with this line molded in the plastic. And because I have those flags, what I can do is adhere the center, right? And look, the light's not going anywhere yet, but I have the ability to shift and wiggle it a little bit because the ends are still covered with the backer. There, I'm pretty happy with that. So now I'm going to hold the light in position, and I'm going to just simply pull the backing material out, repeat it for the other side, apply gentle pressure for just a few seconds. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's not going to go anywhere. I'm happy with the orientation. It follows the body line exactly like I wanted, right? Wipe off any of the gunk that was on my hands that got on the light. And there you go. No holes, no bezel, no extra plastic. The light is very compact. It looks clean. It looks finished. Wires coming through the back. Looks good to me. So let's put her together. Now, grab you some good electrical tape. I frankly prefer the Scotch 33 over about anything else. We're going to tape the wire harness to our snake, or in this case, my lifelong zip tie companion here. This is, again, this is overkill for this particular installation, but if you have to pull through a complex mirror routing path, you're going to want to have that well secured. Chase your wire down, get it through, keep everything roughly aligned, envision the way the wire is going to have to go to best protect it. In this case, it looks like it's going to want to live down here. And then you can start reassembling everything. Make sure your wire isn't pinched anywhere, and then let the mirror cap be your guide. It will tell you when it's happy. It will tell you when it starts to fit back into place. Don't force it, okay? Oh, look at that. There we go. We fit it. We check all the way around. Oh, we had a boo-boo there. There we go. Look at that. Just like it needed to be. All right, put your 4 screws back in. All right, get the disc thing here, the motor, the whatever, the mount, get it back pretty well level in the center. You're going to take your mirror glass, line everything up. Again, it will let you know when it's happy. See how that just kind of set into place? And snap it on. Check the range of adjustment, that you haven't broken anything. Get your evidence wiped off the glass. There you go. Just like it never happened, right? Now, we'll finish this up real quick. Pull the foam part out. Finish our wire routing. Again, we followed the factory harness, right? I like to add a zip tie here. This is a little tricky when you have big fingers, but it's doable. And the reason why is I want to secure the wire that I've added to the factory harness to ensure that it is protected. Because this mirror does move, I want to make sure that that won't cause any issues. And we always flush cut zip ties. There you go. Put your vanity cover here back on. Make sure she's good to go. Straighten your mirror out. Everything is good, everything's happy, and we're all set. You can finish the install now, extend the wires to your harness, remount the mirror to the vehicle, and get this thing down the road. Thanks for watching today. If we can ever help you at Sound Off, give us a call. Myself, Damon, we're both very experienced upfitters. We've seen most of what you've seen, and we are happy to give you some tips and tricks and get you on the road. Have a great day. Bye.